Hey there, welcome to your weekly guidance and forecast. I'm sorry this is late. Today we'll be doing, welcome to the Lumiere channel, first of all. Hey, we'll be doing a forecast, so sort of like a general energy of the week, and then a guidance for how to handle that particular energy, and hopefully, a guidance that will help you in the week. If it doesn't relate necessarily to the forecast. So it's two sort of different entities, but that's how I'm going to read them. But I invite you to take that how you will as it relates and pertains to your world. I don't know why you want me to use you if you're not going to jump out. So, alright. So, I think I'm going to, I guess I will. I will be using a couple of decks for this. I don't want to use that one. I might be using the Green Oracle. There's this new tea deck I want to get, this new tarot deck I want to use. It's on Amazon. I really want to get it. So I hope I can at some point. Wish me luck. Alright. So, let's get the weekly forecast. Let's use you since you seem to be out here trying to be wildin'. What energies can we expect this week? I know at this time of the reading there's a lot of retrogrades starting up and really big planets and the like, and that's fair. This is a lot of cards. I don't want to read too many cards. So I feel like it's just too much sometimes. So the forecast this week, we have Earth, environment, and nurturing and protection. Very interesting. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Swords in reverse, and the Eight of Swords in protection. What does it mean? Some of the energies that we might be dealing with this week are, first of all, there's something about being overbearing. It's really interesting to me. I see the Queen of Pentacles and the Nurturing card to be quite similar. Funny enough, the Six of Swords also sort of resembles the two of this environment here. And the Eight of Swords feels like the environment as well as just Earth. Simply because the Eight of Swords is it's typically this person that's stranded. In this deck, the Eight of Swords is someone who is, I don't know, they look a bit like overdosed, They look like they're in an overdose, but it also looks like they're in something of like an empathic overload. Just tired. Doing too much. But it's in reverse. The Six of Swords usually depicts a group of people being ferried, mostly like 2-3 people being ferried from one land to another. And, well, that's hilarious. There's a ferry literally ferrying this person from one land to another. But it's in reverse. The Queen of Pentacles usually shows the same woman, but on a throne. And to me, nurturing reminds me of the Empress, which I already said. However, this nurturing is in reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles is in the upright. When I see the Empress in reverse, or rather this nurturing card, it kind of tells me, if I look at forecast, there's a danger for you to, well, not a danger, but it gives me two different messages. It gives me a message of someone nurturing, obviously, things that they shouldn't, in that they could be nurturing something else. I'm reminded of the Gentle Gardener and the Field of Dreams, in the deck that I'm going to use for guidance that talks about what are you planting, what have you planted, and where essentially are you spending your thoughts. So if this is an energy of the week or a forecast of the week, it feels really earthy. It feels really grounded. It feels quite practical. And it looks like your natural world may be affected, or at least like the sturdiness and the stability of your world may be affected. I do want to say that it could also be in your mental state, like your mental grounding. I don't know how to explain that. If it's not your actual physical environment, it's like your inner being, obviously. With the nurturing once again and protection, my initial thought was not caring. My initial like mental phrasing was not giving a, and the Queen of Pentacles came out here. And what I'm seeing is I'm really trying so hard not to read this as guidance, because it's not guidance. It's what are the energies of the week. So maybe this week you will find yourself not giving much of an F, distracting yourself from what you've been doing, your norm that you've been sort of keeping up on, the things that you've been keeping your focus on in the usual. You've now sort of shifted this week and paying attention to other things. The Queen of Pentacles is a mini Empress to me, or she's a more practical Empress in that she's more grounded. She's like a real woman doing Empress stuff. And to me here, she's taking care of herself by being with this man. Actually, I think the Queen of Pentacles is the man in this deck. But I like that I'm looking at her. So I feel like she has her attention on him. And I like that. It's like she's the mother. Yes, she's the carer. Yes, she's the one who will give, the last milk she has to take care of someone. But here she's actually taking care of herself. So I don't know. I feel like this week that's something that you'll be noticing, that you'll be turning your attention to different things, not the normal things that you've been taking care of. I would like to think that with these swords cards in reverse, it's almost like avoidant behavior, but it's it's an energy that's you might be thinking or might be for the betterment of your psyche. This woman always looks doped up to me. She looks just gone. And with all these symbols around her, it feels like she's just an empathic overload. And she just can't anymore. She's exhausted. She's spent. And with it being in reverse, it almost feels like heavier. But it really depends on how you read the cards and what else is going on around. This does feel like a heavy energy. But I feel like it's so heavy that it's forced her to nurture other things, to turn her attention just away and just stop. But I don't feel like it's done yet. I feel like the energies are still around her and she'll have to pick up whatever she was doing again. With the Six of Swords, again, it does feel like a pause. It feels more like a distraction. It feels like this week would be a distraction. But a distraction can either be one for the better or one for the worse, whatever those words mean. So it could be someone shucking their responsibilities, or someone who is shucking what they've been mulling over and over and over again and finding some respite in putting their attention elsewhere. With earth and environment, those are really interesting words. I'm looking at this bunny taking shelter. That's what I see here. Someone who's hiding. Someone who is protecting themselves from the elements. Someone who hasn't yet seen the sun. Someone who might be hiding from the sun. Hiding from having to see or having to put in what they need to, or what is being required of them, or what has been obligated or placed on them to do. Just they're looking for some respite. That's really what I see here. And again, this bear sort of coming here to get a drink from this emotional waters. Just sort of taking a break and dipping their toe, but not putting their whole body in there. So I'm getting a week of not giving a flying, and a week of distraction, a week of shucking responsibility, or another. I always say, and I maybe don't say it enough lately, but when I say what I say, take the essence of what I'm saying. And the essence of this could be one of shucking your responsibilities and paying attention to other things. That's like the energy of the week. Or on the flip side of the same exact coin, of the same essence, it's tending to other things and putting what you have been doing or have been obligated to on hold. You see how that's the exact same energy or essence, but it can reflect in many different ways. So that's how I read. And that's how I'm reading this. I want to get into the guidance because this whole forecasting is weird. I should just do guidance because I know the guidance like gives me what I need to reverse engineer the energy of the week. I don't know. I might not do another forecast again because that's just making me feel all sorts of something. What is the guidance for those watching this? Thanks. Oh, I thought that was a mountain. Yeah. Ghostlands and the Wizard of Awareness. Ghostlands. That's awesome. Ride the wave. Ghostlands is a message about the past and the present and the future. Ghostlands talks about not being too much in the past or being in the future. Ghostlands is a reminder for us to be in the now. And the Wizard of Awareness is beautiful here. I used to get this card so many times. I hated this fucking old man, dude. I'd be like, dude! I hated him so much. Ugh. I remember the 3 cards I'd get from this deck was the Wizard of Awareness. Peaks of Joy kept coming out when I was coming out of my dark night, if you want to call it that. And Deep Freeze kept coming out in the upright. And then it would come out sometimes in the reverse, and then Peaks of Joy. But this guy was always come out. And as soon as he would come out, I'd throw his ass back in the deck and just walk away in a angry huff. But we're cool now, in a way, at least in this moment, where he's really backing up the Ghostlands energy of being in the present. The future is unknown, and the past has already happened. And how many times does the past change? Often. Because you have new perspectives in the present that look at your past and you look at it differently. It tells a different narrative. And you look at the future and that shit ain't even written yet. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen next week. You don't know what's going to happen in the next minute. That could completely change your life. You wake up to a text message or, things change. I digress. The Wizard of Awareness asks you to sit back and look, watch. Maybe wait, but he's definitely more so about watching, looking. And to me, this is a very simple, boiled down, essential message of being present to the moment, but really being in this moment. I'm reluctant to say waiting with the Wizard of Awareness because I'm not feeling a waiting energy. I'm sensing more of like a being energy. Like, be in the moment and watch your words, watch your actions, watch what's going on around you. Turn the volume down and look at people's actions. Turn the volume down in your own head. Turn your volume down in your expectations versus your own actions. That kind of energy. I really want to read both of them. I feel like I want to read Ghostlands. Yeah, I do. So, Ghostlands here says, whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing. For rarely do the present and future match up exactly on the enchanted map that is your life story. The future has no substance right now. It is a place that has no grounding as of yet. You can't live there yet. You can't live there, yet you can take measured steps toward a goal or dream. Right. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. You can look into the past wistfully and remember beautiful moments or revisit lessons learned. However, you can't live there, nor can you go back and change what was. Yesterday is gone forever. Live fully in the present. The now is the most powerful place to put your attention. Its magic reaches out in every direction, further than the heart and soul can see. I quite like that. I have not read this old man in ages. What's he got to say? Mindfulness is about being observant and remaining neutral about what goes on in the world around you. This applies to the environment within you too. If you struggle inside yourself, stepping into an observer position gives you a new, powerful perspective that neutralizes any discomfort or overexcitement. You have the capacity to see things clearly now, unencumbered by opinion or desire. Wearing the world as a loose garment requires you to adopt a sense that nothing that happens to you is personal. People come and go. Experiences evolve from one state to another in a continual shifting and change, no matter how much you want things to stay the same. The Wizard of Awareness asks you to give up your need to define or limit what you're experiencing now. It's all good. Let it be and watch the miracle unfold without any direct influence from you. This is so nice. This is saying let people play their part if that's something that you're dealing with. Let the situation play out the way it will, without you meddling in it and then sticking your hands in there and checking the pot and opening the oven to see if it's cooking. Baby, it's cooking. Let it cook. Let it do its thing. At least for this week, it's a bit of a hands-off week. Watch. Definitely not wait. Definitely don't not act. Act. But make sure your actions are coming from a place of observation first. Do you really have to act? Do you have to? Who is saying you have to? You know? Or perhaps you do, because that's something that you've noticed that makes sense in this instance. I want to reread this line that says, the Wizard of Awareness asks you to give up your need to define or limit what you're experiencing now. So I always have a hard time saying I've had a bad day, because there's something that may have happened that day that was nice, but because I've given priority to the things that weren't so nice, for whatever reason, I've given them more weight, then I say it's been a bad day. So I have a really hard time saying I'm having a bad day, because I'm not really having a bad day. I might be having a tough time digesting something, but I still maybe had a nice conversation or some good news or something like that. So I really love that he says that he asks you to give up our need to define or limit what we're experiencing, because it's all good. I would go to far as to say that it's all neutral. Not that it's good or bad, that it's all just, it is. You know? I feel like those judgments that we have of good or bad or right or wrong, well, good or bad, more so, can be more hurtful than helpful at times. You know? Do you want to add anything else as far as guidance? Okay. Oh God. Oh God. Oh. At the bottom of the deck we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Oh, that's not good. We have the Tower in reverse. And the Five of Cups in reverse. And I'm reminded of the line that says, it's all good. Don't try to judge or whatever. It's all good. The Tower is a message that people like me have a hard time with. It instantly elicits fear, and it's just not a good time. However, it's in reverse, which makes it just so difficult to read. The Five of Cups in reverse is also kind of a weird one, because what does that really mean? Here we have another sad lady who looks more like a swords type energy. And she is mourning. What are those? Tickets? These look like glyphs. I suppose it looks like she got like a Dear John letter or something, or a Dear Jenna letter. Then it looks like there's someone who looks like the High Priestess here. It's sad. But it's in reverse. This looks like this could be so many situations and so many different people watching this that it could have many different messages. Another reason why I really like reading comments is because I like to see what people are going through sometimes and look at the cards again and see which messages come forward and which ones decrease to fit that person's situation, because it's the same cards. It's very interesting, but I digress. With the Tower here and the Five of Cups fitting the message that I mentioned before, it tells me someone freaking out over something that's happened in the past or something that hasn't yet happened in the future. And with the Ghostlands, it's saying make sure you take the steps that you need to prepare, but also the future isn't promised to anybody, and the future that you specifically want isn't promised to anybody. And you might be feeling the emotions of something that hasn't happened yet, or something that happened a long time ago, because perhaps you're acting from an old wound, or you're acting from a fear that isn't valid, in that this thing hasn't even happened yet and you're already making plans for it to have happened and acting from that space. And that's a weird place to be in, because we want to always preemptively, prepare ourselves. At least I, as a Libra, I want to make plans for what may happen so that I have, contingency plans. The Wizard of Awareness here is saying the shit ain't even happened yet. Just watch. Just watch and move accordingly. This Tower hasn't happened yet. It may not even happen. And the Five of Cups in reverse is saying you don't have to mourn over something that has happened in the far future of it repeating again, or you repeating again, or worrying about it, something happening that hasn't happened yet. And that's such a hard thing to say, but there's such a nuanced message here that I really want to phrase correctly. What the Wizard of Awareness is saying, just watch. Let's don't judge what's happened as good or bad, and don't act from a place of this could be good, this could be bad, because you don't actually know. You may think, based off of your experiences in the past, that this is good and this is bad, but you don't actually know that. Because how many times, like I said prior, has the past changed due to a new perspective, where you see that yes, heartache is deemed as bad, but had you not gone through that heartache, you would not have then moved on to be with someone who is a much better suitor for you. Had you not, lost that job, or had not nailed the interview, or had not gotten promoted, you know what I mean. Had that thing gone the way you would have wanted it to go, to call it good, you wouldn't be in the good place that you're at now. You know what I mean? So then we change our perspective, because in the moment we thought it was bad, but in the present, because of a new perspective, now we look at it as good. So if you preemptively make moves in a way that you think that something is going to be better or good, as opposed to moving with the flow, or moving with a bit of a detached vibe to the outcome, if you move in that sort of, as best as humanly can, a neutral perspective, and see what is what it is for now, then you're at least moving in a way that is incremental, and you're not making choices preemptively based off of your small way of thinking about what's good, what's bad. I hope that made sense, maybe. I hope that made sense, bro. And when I say small way of thinking, this morning I was thinking about how we think within the parameters that we've lived, that we've experienced, that we've heard, that we basically know. But God sees all, right? God is everywhere and in everything, etc., etc., etc. And when I pray the surrender prayer of your will and not my will be done, it is because I only know what I know. I only know the path I know. I only know the life I've lived, with the experiences I've had and the experiences I've been privy to, based off of the movies I've watched, the songs I've heard, the people in my life, that type of thing. That's what we know. We only know what we know. But God knows everything else beyond that. The universe knows everything else beyond that. And that is a much, to me, a greater perspective than the little things that I know. And so it's much more, again, different situations, but to say that will be done and not mine is what I mean when I say thinking from your small mind and catastrophizing something, or over projecting how great something will be, or whatever, based off of your experiences or your thoughts, and making plans from that. So this week, long story longer, act accordingly, based off of incremental movements, based off of the now, because it's really what we have. And yes, plan for the type of future that you want, but know that it's not here yet. And what you have is now, and live in this moment. And yeah, I'm gonna end here. I wish you everything. I always thought she was eating a pizza, but she's like absolutely just devastated over this Dear John letter. That's the thing about this deck, like, where are the other two cups being like, oh hey, it's cool, it'll be alright. Like, there's no cups here. This deck is so wild. And in the tower, she got some news. She got a wild phone call. Oh, the tower. Anyway, I hope you have a great week. I hope that this served you in some way. If at least provided background as you did something meaningful for yourself. I'm sorry it's late. I've been having a week. I'll catch you next time. Keep your light on. Good luck.